Hi everyone, this is Adamara, my channel Eyes Wide Shut, and don't forget my other channel which is called Spiritual Echelons, which is my side channel. Go also check that channel out. That channel is about things such as health, spirituality, natural medicines, the metaphysical, religion and so forth. This channel, Eyes Wide Shut, is more about current affairs, political affairs and issues such as that. This video which I'm cutting right now is entitled The Wake Up Call. The Wake Up Call. Now this video is going out to all of those people who are starting to slowly wake up and starting to see a lot of the that's going on in society. You see, some people like myself woke up many years ago. When I woke up, I was about 14 or 15 years of age. That's how far back it goes, because I've always been an inquisitive person. I've always been the sort of person who asks a lot of questions. Yeah? Anyway, some people woke up many years ago, and some people woke up during 2020, and they realized that there's something that just did not seem right in the world. Something just didn't seem right about the system, and a lot of people were literally forced to take the shot, the BAP as I like to call it, the shot or the BAP. Some people lost their jobs because they refused to take this. I've never known a situation like this where people were forced to have to take this thing. I'm not going to call it by its name because otherwise this video is going to get pulled down. But there's a lot of people, they were forced to have to take this thing in their arm. Okay? And if they didn't take it, they were forced out of their jobs. They were told they could not work. Some people could not travel. Now, I've never known anything at all like this in my life. Some people start to really question, why was there so much emphasis put on this thing? Okay? A lot of things did not seem right to a lot of people. They were questioning things. Why do we have to stand 6 feet apart? Why do we have to take this thing, or as we can't travel or work? Why did they develop the QR code? Why did you have to have an infrared light shining into your forehead before you could go into a shop? So a lot of people really started to question things. And during 2020, whilst a lot of us were locked down, that's when a lot of people really started to question so many things about the system. And it wasn't just about the BAT, it was also about this refugee crisis which seems to be going on in a lot of places such as England, France, Italy, even in America too. Why is it that these people are being put up into hotels whilst those people indigenous to the country could not get housing? Some are still struggling now to try and get housing, even though they were born in this country or the country of origin. They could not get any jobs. Also, these people were being put into hotels, these refugees, and some people just disagreed with that. I'm not going to get into the politics of this. Some people start to question why these people were really here and how much strain it would be putting on the economy. Where was all this money coming from? Was it coming from the taxpayer to keep these people in these hotels or on these boats, on these containers? So people were questioning a lot of things. There was a war going on also in Europe, and Countries like Britain, countries like America were talking about the national debt and how much the countries were struggling and it looked like a possible recession was about to happen, but they were sending money to certain countries in order to fight wars instead of using that money to help the poor people, to help the NHS, and to help other people. Why was this money not being put to use domestically? Why was that money being spent for war? So yes, a lot of people started to question these things. But there was other people, they just acquiesced to whatever the government said. They followed the agenda. Whatever the government said, they believed everything. And there are many still believe in everything that the mainstream media says to them. They don't question anything. They've been programmed. You see, the TV is a form of conditioning. It is a form of programming. But now some people are starting to wake up from that programming. They're starting to wake up from that matrix. They're starting to see the world as it truly is. As Shakespeare once said, the whole world is a stage. The whole world is a stage. There's a famous poet, Roman poet, by the name of Juvenal, and he said, give the people bread and circus. Why? Keep the people entertained by giving them bread and circus. It's a good way of distracting people. And that is what the mass media does. Through radio, through television, through social media. If anybody questions the main narrative, then people question the main narrative, then they're shut up. They are shut up. Or character assassinated. Or the stations pulled down. That is what you get for questioning the system, questioning the narrative. Because those people, the elite, want us to follow their narrative and not our own narrative. We're too busy looking outward when we should be looking inwardly. We depend too much on these people, whether they be church reverends, whether they be priests, whether they be politicians. We look for them to try and solve our issues, when in order to solve our issues we have to turn inward on ourselves, because there is where the answers lie. Not with the politicians, not with the reverends, and not with your preachers. People are starting to wake up, but whilst they're waking up, at the same time they feel quite lonely. They think that they're on their own. Let me tell you this now, for those people who are starting to wake up, who just start to wake up. Some might just woke up last week, some might have woke up 6 months ago, some might have woke up a couple of years ago. Let me tell you this, you're not crazy. There's a lot of people who's questioning a lot of things that's going on in society. They're questioning a lot of things. Whilst other people, they just want to stay asleep. They just want to acquiesce and follow the system. Those people are waking up. You are not alone. You may feel isolated. You may be in amongst a group of people. It could be a family. It could be friends. And they start to look at you differently because you're questioning the system. You're questioning why is the system as it is. But they don't see it. But you do, because you're starting to wake up and that third eye is starting to open. You are not alone. You are not crazy. You are just there questioning things and trying to find solutions to these problems that's going on in the world. No politician, no church reverend can answer these problems or seems to solve these problems. Every 4 or 5 years you get a new government that comes into office and they promise things, and half of these things are not even fulfilled. Then another government comes in and they promise to do this and they promise to do that, and it don't seem like they're listening to the voice of the people. They got their own narratives, and the governments that you see anyway, they're just puppets. The presidents that you see, they're just puppets. The prime ministers that you see, they're just puppets, because the people who are pulling the strings are hidden. You do not see the true power. The true power is hidden. Those who are controlling the system, you will never see them. You will never see them. And the prime ministers, as I've just said, and the presidents are nothing but puppets. And the governments. Why is it that governments can afford to send money to aid wars, but they can't seem to deal with their own domestic problems? They cannot deal with homelessness. They cannot deal with the lack of housing, the shortages of jobs. And now AI is starting to slowly take over a lot of people's jobs. The expense of a human job, the expense of jobs that humans do, are slowly being taken over by AI and bots. So what are people to do in the future? How are they to survive? How are they to live? This video is entitled The Wake Up Call. The wake up call is going out to those people, who are slowly starting to wake up and question the system. Sometimes you're amongst friends and family, and they will push their problems onto you, and when you walk away, you feel totally drained. It's like they're draining you out. These are called energy vampires. They come around and they're around you when they want something, but when you want something back, you don't see them. There's no point in asking them questions about the system, because they're not really interested in that. You're the one who seems a little bit cuckoo, a little bit strange, a little bit out there, because they're programmed and they're following the program. They're following the system. Give the people bread and circuses. As Juvenile once said, give the people bread and circuses. It's time, people, for those who are waking up, to get away from those people who are not helping you, who are not serving you. You need to step away from them. And although you might feel lonely that you're on your own, I can tell you this now, you're not. There's a lot of people out there who are starting to wake up. You've got friends in other countries you have not met yet, but they're out there waiting for you, waiting for that connection. You've got friends in Australia who think like you. You've got friends in Canada that think like you. You've got people in Germany that think like you. You've got people in Scotland who think like you. You've got people in China who think like you. People out there, friends, waiting to meet you. Trust what I'm telling you. What you also need to do is to get into a community of like-minded people. Surround yourself with like-minded people. Feel that positive energy of those people who are around you, who want to do something positive with their life. As again, as I say again, this message goes out to those people who are slowly starting to wake up, who feel like they're on their own, who feel a little bit isolated. Note, you're not on your own. And this is a phase that you're going through. And there's stages to waking up also. We are all at different levels of waking up. Let me tell you one more thing. You see, the news, the mainstream news, have you ever noticed that there's always a lot of adverts that seem to be about sex? Yeah? And music? That's because sex and music sells really big. And it's also something that many of us can relate to. Now, music and sex can leave you open. It can leave you open to certain entities, certain beings that can come through you through listening to certain types of music. Sex. It's very important for you to protect your energy right about now. It might sound like I'm wandering off a subject, but right now, it's very important that you protect your energy. Mind who you're sleeping with. Mind the company that you're keeping. Mind what is coming out of your mouth. As I say, this video is called a wake-up call. And it's going out to those people who are starting to wake up but feel that they're on their own. You're not on your own. And as I say one more time, you've got friends waiting for you in Australia. You got friends waiting for you in New Zealand. You got friends waiting for you in the USA, in Germany, in Italy, in Spain. All waiting for you to connect with them. People of like minds. This is Eldad Amara with another video. And if you like this video, please hit the like button and please subscribe to my channel. This is Eldad Amara, over and out.